So far, when we've been looking at our similar shapes, we've been given two corresponding lengths, and we've then used those corresponding lengths to work out our linear scale factor, our k value, and then we've either used it to work out a missing length on another corresponding side, or we've squared it to find the area scale factor and calculated a missing area, or we've cubed it to find the volume scale factor to find a missing volume. This video is working backwards, so it is looking at given two areas so that you've got the area scale factor. You would need to square root that area scale factor to get k, the linear scale factor, or the length scale factor. And when you're told the VSF, so when you can work out k cubed, because you've got two volumes, you're going to cube root it to get k. So think about you're changing the subject of a formula. You know that the inverse process of squaring is square rooting, so it makes sense that to get k, you would square root k squared. And the same applies to k cubed. The inverse of cubing is cube rooting, so we would cube root it to get k. Please note, you must always go from k cubed back to k and then forward to k squared, or from k squared back to k and forward to k cubed. You can't go straight from an area scale factor to a volume scale factor, and you can't go straight from a volume scale factor to an area scale factor. So our reminder that when we were working L new, we were multiplying the linear scale factor by the length on the old shape. When we wanted the area on a new shape, we were doing k squared, or the area scale factor, multiplied by the area of the old shape. And when we wanted the volume of a new shape, then we were taking k cubed, or the volume scale factor, and multiplying it by the volume of the old shape. When we had problems with money, we needed to pay attention to what it said in the question, whether it was proportional to length, area, or volume, so that we knew which of those scale factors to use. So in this example, the following two cones are similar in shape. We know the height of the small cone is 8 centimeters, and it says here it's made from 180 centimeters squared of paper. So I'm going to write that onto the picture. So A old is 180 centimeters squared. The larger one is formed from 290 centimeters squared of paper. So A new is 290 centimeters squared. And it's asking us to find the height. So we're looking for length new on our shape. So first of all, we need to work out our scale factor. So we can work out our area scale factor because we've got two areas. So we can say that k squared equals, and the new goes on the top, 290 divided by 180, which gives us 29/18. Now, we want to work out k because we are trying to work out a length. So to get k, we are going to square root 29/18. And if we put that into our calculator, we're going to end up with root 58/6. Now, we've got k, we've got the length of the old shape, which is 8 centimeters, and so we're going to multiply k by 8 in order to get the length of our new. So L new is going to be root 58/6 multiplied by 8. And that gives us 10.1543, and so on. Now the question says round to 2 decimal places. So again, our answer needs to have at least 3 decimal places. And so we're going to have 10.1, and the 4 says that we're going to leave the 5 as a 5, and then we're going to write our units, which are centimeters, and then to 2 decimal places. The final example has two tins of paint that are similar in shape, as are their labels. They hold 1.4 litres and 2 litres respectively. The area of the label on the large tin is 101 centimetres squared, and we want to calculate the area of the label on the small tin. So we need to put some information onto these tins of tartan paint. So we know that 1.4 litres and 2 litres are volumes. So we've got V old. In fact, we are trying to work out the small paint. So V new is 1.4 litres and V old is going to be 2 litres. We then know that the area of the large tin, so A old, is 101 centimetres squared, and we're trying to work out what A new is. So that's our unknown value. So, as I said at the beginning of this video, we can't just go from volume to area. We have to go from volume scale factor back to length scale factor and then forward to our area scale factor, and then we can multiply it by our A old. So, first thing to do is work out what K cubed is. So, K cubed equals, and we're trying to work out the smaller tin of paint, so it's small over big. So it's 1.4 over 2, and for this particular example, it's probably easier to write it as a decimal. Now, how do we get K? The inverse of cubing is cube rooting, so K is going to be the cube root of 0.7. And if we put in that into our calculator, it will give us a decimal value. Don't round that decimal, use your answer button. But what we're actually looking for is K squared. So K squared is going to be the cube root of 0.7 all squared. And that's the value that we're going to use to multiply by our 101. So A new is going to be the cube root of 0.7 all squared multiplied by 101. And that gives us a value of 79.625 and so on. Now, the rounding in this question says to one decimal place. So we've got 79 point, and then we need to decide what to do with the 6. There's a 2 after it, so we're going to leave it as a 6. And our units are centimetres squared to one decimal place.